this is a little bit different type of a trip. We are not backpacking, we're kayaking. We're headed to the Manitou Islands. Anyway, we are at the DH Day campground. We are waiting for the office to open up because we rolled in a little bit late last night and we were not able to get our backcountry permits. We were told that there may be a gentleman that can help us around 7 a.m., but there may not be. And then there may be somebody that can help us around 8 a.m., but there may not be. But the office does open at 9, so worst case scenario, we will get our permits around 9. We were able to grab a couple of bundles of firewood last night and had ourselves a fire. And there's the current situation. We are set up. So we have to get these taken down and get packed up and head on out. We are parked at the cannery. The truck is parked over here. We've got a beautiful, beautiful day. So we are trying to beat some storms. It's about 7 a.m., right?
No. I think we're closer to 8.
Oh yeah, we are closer to 8. I'm sorry, I was looking at my watch.
8:11.
Yeah, okay.
And for those viewers out there, this is highly discouraged.
Yes.
By everybody you talk to.
Within the National Park Service.
No matter what your experience level is, they discourage this. Apparently, I mean, here's the deal. There are people who take recreational kayaks or like the $150 kayaks that you can buy at TJ Maxx on clearance, and they try and make this paddle. I mean, this is, first of all, it's Lake Michigan. Secondly, it's an 8-mile.
Let me get that in the background too.
There you go.
That's right there. Yeah, that is where we're headed.
It's an 8-mile open water paddle, so this is some serious stuff here. So, but we got to get going because we're up against those storms, and we don't want to end up running into those this afternoon. So, well, I'm apparently more ready than Jay.
Yes, you are.
Here, shirtless, and
yes,
I'm loaded and ready to go.
Made it. All right.
Well, we did it, brother.
Yes, we did.
Hard to believe, really. I mean, it's amazing. But look at that dock. It's just devastated. Holy cow. I mean, what dock, right? Wow.
Unbelievable. Way to get this spray skirt down. Oh, man.
Yeah, I know. I got to get mine off.
Although it's a little chilly.
Thought we better get a video. And
yeah.
it was a good paddle. I mean, we got a later start than we thought. And it was, you know, it's a Lake Michigan paddle. I mean, it's a serious paddle. I wouldn't say it was easy for sure. And when you look over here, this makes it look like it's glass, but we're in the bay here. You know, when we're out there, and I think your hopefully your GoPro footage shows some of that stuff. But
I think I got you kind of getting lost in the waves.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's
from my perspective anyway.
It's kind of how you know, it's part of the fun, right? You look over and all of a sudden you can't see your partner because you're in a trough and they're in a trough.
It really was a fun paddle.
Yeah.
That was good.
All right, well, I need a cup of coffee, so let's
and some food.
Get out the stove and cook up some hot coffee.
So there's a couple of maintenance guys on the island. Talked to the one for a little bit. He said he's kayaked over here. Was it 5 or 6 times? He said. Yeah. And he even offered to take us up to the lighthouse.
I want to say that.
Yeah. That might be against regulations.
Rules.
Maybe I won't post that. But here's the ranger residence. It's amazing how much is flooded here from the high waters. But, pretty cool. They still have you know, trash bins and stuff like that. There's picnic tables out. I don't know if the bathrooms are open. Haven't tried that yet, but
if he does, it ain't gonna be pretty. We're gonna wish they had closed those bathrooms.
all the high waters. Pretty much everything flooded around here. See this one over here. So you can see this is supposed to be a boardwalk. It is underneath some serious sand. There you can see the dock, just completely underwater. Well, we left the bay and head around to the Shipwreck. Coming around the lighthouse right now. You'll see the water start to get rougher.
So we just left the lighthouse area, the kind of the town. Been paddling around to give you a little bit of perspective. That right there is where we came from this morning, right in the center of the screen. Over obviously here, we went to the lighthouse, kind of hung out in town, ate a little bit, made up some coffee, and now we're paddling around the south end of the south, and just happened to come along a nice little beach here, our own little private beach. Pulled off and just kind of hanging out and enjoying it. Overcast kind of came in. You can see they are predicting some storms tonight, so we'll see. I think most of it's going to go south of us, but we'll probably get a little bit of rain if nothing else. So.
As I shove off, hopefully you can tell how rough the water is getting. It's going to stay that way until well after the shipwreck. As a result, we don't get a lot of footage of the Morazan, but you will see it off to the right as we approach it. Here's a bit of history for you. Francisco Morazan was a 234-foot-long cargo ship built in Hamburg, Germany in 1922, and originally named Arcadia. She was sold in 1934 and renamed Elbing. During World War II, she was requisitioned by the Kriegsmarine, which was the navy of Nazi Germany, to be used as a coal ship. Elbing would be beached after being shelled not once, but twice, and would subsequently be repaired and returned to service. In 1945, Elbing was seized by the Ministry of War Transport. She would eventually have 7 different names before finally being renamed Francisco Morazan. On October 21st, 1960, Morazan began what was to be her last voyage from Miami, Florida. She would sail to Montreal, Toronto, and finally Chicago, where she would be loaded with 1,118 tons of mixed cargo, including aluminum, baled hair, canned chicken, toys, hides, and many other goods. After departing Chicago on November 28th, Morazan would be slowed by fog and a boiler repair that would leave her scrambling to leave the Great Lakes before the system closed to navigation on December 3rd. During the night and into the morning of November 29th, a snowstorm reduced visibility and pushed Morazan off course. At 6:35 p.m., she ran aground on the South Manitou Islands shoal, just 300 yards from shore. The crew were never really in danger and were all eventually rescued. The insurer of the ship deemed it to be unsalvageable, but decided to salvage its cargo. After multiple failed attempts due to weather, the cargo was abandoned as well. Francisco Morazan's cargo would eventually be salvaged by the islanders. The Blue Star brand canned chicken was said to be a hit, and the balsa wood model aircraft kits made by Monogram of Chicago were popular with the local boys. In August of 1967, a local boy drowned while exploring the wreck. A lawsuit was filed to have the ship removed, but the ship was set ablaze and its cargo was entirely consumed. The lawsuit was dropped, and the wreck of the Francisco Morazan is now the property of the great state of Michigan.
Well, we stopped at the lighthouse. We had one more stop. Anyway, we try not to stop by the wreck there because the birds they poo all over that wreck, and the whole thing just stinks. So we stopped before that, and then we just paddled all the way around. If you come around, you'll see over here, that's north, off in the distance there. So anyway, we're gonna grab some food. We don't have a whole lot longer to go before we'll be to Popple Campground, which I think is where we're planning to stay tonight. So I don't know if you can tell here, but it is just an absolute beautiful aqua color here, this water, closer you get up here to shore. And obviously, you know, the further you go away, it just starts to get a deeper and deeper blue, but just amazing. Anyway, I'm sitting here, found a little spot of shade, and I put my dinner, which is going to be shepherd's pie, into a little freezer bag. I just put a little water in there, and I'm going to cold soak that. Basically, you just let the water soak with it, and I'll kind of do that between now and the time I actually go to cook it. Just softens it all up. It's been dehydrated, and by the time I actually go to eat it, it'll be nice and soft again. I had some hot water in there to get it to the right consistency, and it'll be a nice hot meal. So, well, there's Jay down there. I don't know if you can see him, but down with the kayaks there doing his thing. So,
Well, I don't know if you can even hear me, because it is windy. But a bee or something. We just pulled up. We're headed north, and actually on the west side of South Manitou Islands. Is that enough directions for you? But yeah, we are pulled off onto a little beach area, and we're gonna try and get well, we're gonna try and take a little rest here and have a little bite to eat. I had to clear out some sand and rocks or whatever, some sort of debris from my skeg. If you don't know what that is, it's just a little device in the rear of the kayak that it helps it track in a straight line. It goes up and down, and I can control it from the cockpit, and something was stuck in it. I couldn't get it to go down, so for the last hour I've been going all over the place trying to stay straight, and it really is taking its toll. So I'll be happy if that works when we get back out. So
that's what it looks like when you cold soak it. You just basically pour enough water in there to kind of cover it. You can already see some of the spices in there, and thyme and rosemary. So I'll show you what it looks like when I actually sit down to make it later, but that's the start.
Well, we were looking for a campground called Popple. We could not find it. The water is so high right now that we think maybe the beach that it is on just washed away or something. I don't know. Either way, we couldn't find it, and I mean, we were looking hard. So rather than go back to the bay campground, which we think is gonna be just infested with mosquitoes because there's so much standing water from the flooding, we stopped off at this spot here. Now there's no dispersed camping allowed on South Manitou Island, but I mean, we're kind of in a pinch here, so we don't really want to make the crossing over to the north yet, because neither one of us has it in us. I mean, we paddled completely around the island, so yeah, we're gonna unload the kayaks and there's Ryan over there. Try and get camp set up, and hopefully these biting flies leave us alone, because they are nasty. What you got going? Oh, that sucks. I mean, that should be all right, though, right?
Huh?
It should be all right, right? Yeah. Which hatch is that in? The back?
Yeah.
It leaks a bit?
I'm not sure what happened, but
I mean, those were some crazy waves. So
yeah, I mean, I got hit hard one good time. I mean, I don't know.
yeah,
These aren't always really great at sealing it either.
right. So we got the tent set up. I didn't film anything because these black flies, these biting flies, are just relentless. I mean, they're just all over my legs. I can't even, it's ridiculous. You can't stand there for 2 seconds. They're just covered. Like, the bags are just covered. Everything's covered in these stupid flies. I mean, we're both hunkered down in our tents right now. Just trying to stay fly free. I guess I'm gonna probably put some pants on and a long sleeve shirt just to try and mitigate the problem here, but we'll see.
So here I am. This is cold soaked, so that stuff in there is on its way to being ready, but I got some boiling water now. I'm gonna put it in there and get it to the right consistency. So now I put some hot water in there and added the baked potatoes, and there we go. It doesn't look super appetizing, but you can recognize some of those vegetables in there. And it's got turkey, corn, green beans, peas, mushrooms, thyme, rosemary, and gravy. So it's pretty good. Nice little shepherd's pie.
Cheesy spoon lasagna.
Look at that spoon,
That is the
man.
dumb. It's gonna take
Holy
forever to
cow,
clean.
you are never getting that clean.
No. Yeah, and some Frank's Red Hot.
Heck yeah.
You don't bring that on the trail.
Brian crawled in bed, and I just brought my chair down here and
A little camp chair. Sitting by the water. Enjoying the sound of the waves as they roll in. Tomorrow we will be, well, you can hardly see it, but over there, that's where we'll be, and we should get an awesome sunset tomorrow night. So I'm gonna finish up my tea and I'm gonna go to bed. And we'll see you guys in the morning.
So yesterday we showed you a little bit about like the sandy beaches on the other side. This is one that's more rocky. Bunch of little pebbles down there. Not sure which one's worse for the bottom of the kayak, whether the sand from acts like sandpaper or if this grinds it away with the pebbles, but you know these pebbles have a tendency to get stuck in the skeg on the kayak, so you can't lower it down, which is a big pain. So both of us yesterday had a problem where we couldn't get our skegs down, so it's usually pretty easily fixable, but kayaks, especially when you're trying to track, they don't tend to track as well without that skeg. You can start to see right up in there. There's north. Starting to peek through the fog this morning, the mist.
That sun is bright this morning. It's beautiful. Water is calm too. Well, I think it's about 8 or 8:30. Sorry, I just got done eating a Pop-Tart, which kind of choked on. I didn't really like Pop-Tarts, but I don't know. It's a camp thing, I guess. Whatever. Anyway, I got my rain fly out the tent because obviously it rained last night. I was trying to dry it out a little bit. But right now it's just laying in a bush over there because I was going to hang it over one of these small bushes here, but they're still wet too, so the leaves are, so very well. That kind of defeats the purpose if I'm getting the inside of it wet while I'm drying the outside.
So here's the same view, and now you can see the island in the distance there. So that's where we're headed today. Something about this side of South Manitou. It's right over by the Bay campground. Anywhere kind of along this, it's kind of protected. And the other side, you know, you've got Lake Michigan here. You kind of have this little protected region between north and south, and it's right by the Bay campground, which is, if you've ever been to South Manitou, which is where the lighthouse would be, that kind of stuff. So, but they have these little black flies that get on you, and they don't, like, you don't get one that get on you. You end up with hundreds of them that are just nibble, and they bite. They don't leave marks. They don't itch afterward. It's just like this little pain, little shot of bite as those flies get you. So this morning, it's too hot. I was going to have my long sleeve stuff on, but it was too hot out here with the sun beating down on us. But both Jay and I have our pants on, socks on to protect our ankles. And the plan is to load up the kayaks, quickly strip down, and try and get as few bites as possible before we jump in the kayaks. Last time we were here, those things would get underneath the spray skirt. So you get in the kayak, you put the spray skirt on, and then they're underneath there where you can't defend yourself, and they just bite the whole time. It's not good. So I'm hoping to avoid that today. For as beautiful as it is, those flies are kind of a real pain in the rear end. And the only, last night we ended up spending more time in our tents individually, just kind of hiding from the flies just to get a little reprieve. So the nice thing is on North, and especially on this side of North, we won't have that problem.
Well, here's where we camped last night. And this was our view. Beautiful. Ryan is loading his kayak right now. I am getting ready to do the same. I have one more thing left over here for sure, and that is my coffee cup. And then we'll say goodbye. Oh, and my shoes, which I wouldn't have left without those. And then I need to get rid of these rocks that I used last night to hold my stakes down on my tent in the sand. And other than that, leave nothing but footprints, and that's the way it should be. So we'll see you on North.
So here are all my little black fly friends. Fortunately, they seem to like my wet kayak better than my arms.